You know nobody on earth that's made it that didn't work hard.
I know that there are going to be times in my life that I feel like my gift is insignificant.
I go home and just ask, will my girls be proud of what I did today?
Man, I wish I had known like 10 years before that I wanted to do what I do now. What's up, Joe?
What's up?
Welcome to Austin. Feeling good? How's the drive?
Good.
Yeah. You want coffee?
Yes, please.
Don't got much in there, but kitchen, pretty straightforward. Living room, and hey, let's come this way. My wife's back here, but she's nursing our newborn, Georgia. So you'll meet her in a second. And then our nursery. So this is, we've actually put more effort into this room than any other room in our house.
How long have you and your wife been married?
Since 2019. So fun story. This is back whenever I owned RCD. You know, she owns the specific chiropractic centers here in Austin. But at the time, she was working for Dublin, California. So Grant introduced me to Sean, who's the CEO. I basically went down to Fort Worth to pitch them websites for the entire company, all the docs in the entire company. Alex happened to be one of them, and that's when we first met. And then and she was living in San Francisco at the time, so like we basically did long distance for like a whole year. Joe, this is my wife, Alex.
Hello, Alex.
This is a little baby Georgia. She's been good this morning.
She's always good.
Yeah, she's always good. She has her moments though. Where she has her moments when she tests us. She tests our patience. I always talked about like entrepreneurship being super hard. Does not compare to parenthood. I'll just tell you that right now. Anybody watching who does not have kids, like, parenthood is so much more difficult, especially if you're a new parent. She was born at 4:22 a.m. Our midwife, she was around for the next couple hours, but like she was out of the house at like 7 or 8 a.m. and then it was just like, oh, we have a baby that we have to take care of now, and we haven't slept in 3 days. Yeah, it's a very crazy experience, but like it's pretty surreal. It's an amazing experience though. So like in 2007, I actually had this this idea, and I was young. I was 24, and so I started a business, a social media business at that time. And think about this is 2007 when people did not know what social media was. And I think it's important for people to know that when I started this, I had to make 2 sales. I had to convince people, 1, what social media was, and 2, to pay me to actually do it. Anyways, I failed miserably. You know, a lot of people didn't know I was going through some mental health stuff because I kept it all bottled in. But like what was really happening was I had no idea what I wanted to do, what my purpose was in life, and how I wanted to make a difference, how I wanted to help people. And so I was slightly depressed. And I didn't know it at the time. It was the feeling of like hopelessness. I guess that's probably the best word. Confusion, you know? Because you see all these people that they go to school, they know exactly what they're gonna do. And I look back on that, I'm like, man, I wish I had known like 10 years before that I wanted to do what I do now. But I also look at the other side too, which took me a long time to figure out, that I'm glad I figured it out at 33 and not 53 or 63 or never, you know what I mean? So I think it's important for people to know that I didn't just start a business and was successful, right? I failed miserably at that business. And so, you know, it's a tough thing to do. It's tough, very, very tough. Hi, Mosley. After 4 years of owning it and running the agency, it came to a point where I realized that it was hyper local, and I knew that we were just kind of doing some low-hanging fruit on marketing stuff, right? I wanted to go higher level, but I also wanted to go national, international, instead of staying local. Say you're going on a road trip, you have a destination. If I wanted to go all the way to like California, for example, there's multiple ways I can get there, right? There's a lot of vehicles I can choose. I can ride a bicycle, I can drive, I can fly. It's very similar, where I knew what my destination was, or is, but that agency was not my vehicle to get me there. But to be with my wife, I knew that my next step in life was not going to be in Little Rock. Luckily, at that time, I got an offer to buy, and I sold it. I literally sold everything I had, and then got in my car, drove out to San Francisco. And at that point, I didn't do anything for 6 months. It was a good, like, kind of reset, and also it allowed me to get clear in my mind which direction I wanted to go professionally. Looking back at that transition in my life, like just like selling the business, moving out of Little Rock, I bet a ton of people outside looking in probably thought I just hated being there, because like as soon as I sold it, I was out. And it wasn't necessarily the case. It was just there are points in people's lives where you just got to make steps. Like there's a step into the direction that where you want to go. Again, it's destination. And it was just that time in my life, you know, like living in Little Rock was not going to get me where I wanted to be, personally, professionally, and I will always call Little Rock home, and I love it, and I go back. But it was just that time, you know. Sometimes the explanation for some things that people do is it's just that time. So after I sold the company, I decided to start Dripify. And do you know what Dripify is? No. Or you know what all I do? Okay, so let me give you just 10-second pitch. So basically, it's an agency, but a marketing agency is kind of what I did before, but it is custom tailored to every single business. So like, instead of offering a cookie cutter solution, it's like, okay, let me find all the what I call black holes of marketing from beginning to end, like customer journey from prospect all the way to raving fan, because the black holes in the entire process is different for every business. Like where does a client drop off? And so like that's what I do. And so we actually got really lucky in the space that we got because of the location. We're near a lot of big tech companies. Like you can see Bumble is right there, and which is, you know, they just went public. So they're like $1 billion company. And so it's just a really cool vibe being here. Welcome to the space. So obviously I'm in a bit of a transition because for a couple of reasons. One, we just made a corner for my wife. So my wife's clinic here, I'll move over here. My wife's clinic is downstairs, her chiropractic clinic, but she needed a space for like Zoom meetings and things like that. So we made her a corner here. Also, Joe, you guys can't see, but Joe is gonna help me put together a YouTube studio. I do some podcasting right here already, as I mentioned earlier. This is kind of where my battle station is. This is where I do all my work.
So you've been doing this for a long time. You've had one company, this is your second company. Why is it important for you now to go online?
straight up, I just want to reach more people. Like, that is my mission. My mission is to reach as many people as we can. There's millions, billions of people on this planet. And let me just tell you, there's so many people that were in my situation whenever I was a freelancer, and they're struggling to make it. They're struggling to make it in business. And I've been there, I've been where they are, and I know what it feels like to feel like you're failing. And I just want to, like, it's just my mission to help those people out and to know that they are not alone, they can do it, and I'm here to help them. And it's way easier to go international and national and just reach the world through the internet, through video, through podcasting, and like, technology's here. I just want to use it.
Good stash. Ready? Mm-hmm. On this episode of I hope you record that exact thing and use your voice.